Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. I am Cisonspace and I came across or stumbled across the story of Ghana and the other rappers, which is Young Thug and the rest. I'm not really into these rap guys because I'm more into like old school rap, like the Jay-Z's and the Kanye's, those back in the days when Chris Brown. That is what I'm into. But I stumbled upon the story on a channel and we were talking about how he was in association with this group, with these types of rappers, and he happened to be arrested and he had to choose himself in the process. And that meant he has to sell his other colleagues out to save his life. For me, yes, in a rap game, men like to keep the code of do not snitch, do not do this. You have to, keep take it with your heart like a man and go to jail for your friend. But I'm never falling for that culture. If there is a culture I'm never falling for, is to take the fall of someone else, especially when they're doing the wrong thing. If you're doing it for a right cause, then yes. If you're doing it to save someone's life, which is they're very, very good people and they're helping society, then yes. But if those people are harming society and they're doing things that's going to be harmful for the next generation, what's the point of being loyal? And to think of it, all these guys who talk about, or in the rap talk about, no snitching, they are the snitchers most of the time. They end up snitching most of the time. They are just afraid of being snitched on. But they are the ones doing the snitching. They just fear someone snitching on them because they know they don't do the right thing either. So long story short, this guy Ghana happened to not take the fall of someone who is not, doing something right. He's into crime. He's using his organization to promote bad things. And I think he did the right thing in my opinion. But that's not even why I'm here. I'm not here to pass judgment. But what I'm talking about is sometimes rejection is a blessing. Sometimes people reject you because if they don't reject you now, you might be in trouble someday where you can't get your hands off it. I feel like him taking that great stand of choosing himself first saved his life. It literally saved his life, because imagine if he had gone to prison over something that he wasn't really involved in. Like, he's not the CEO of it, he's not the one who's supposed to face that consequences. Imagine you had taken that for him. Imagine that. So he took a step back, said the truth, and the real people took their fall, which that's how it's supposed to be. And that really revealed if people in the industry really cared about him or not. And it happened they don't really care about him. I'm sure this guy didn't maybe had the intention of going to the police and reporting his friend, but at that point a lot of people choose themselves, and that's a smart thing because they're not doing it for a good cause, and you might waste years in jail if you don't come out clean. So once they rejected this guy, a lot of people in the industry were talking about how he's a snitch. Oh, he's a snitch. Ghana is a snitch. Everyone shouldn't work with him. Stay away from Ghana. He's a snitch. He was almost blackballed in the industry. But if God blesses someone, nothing can tarnish their image. Who you are blessed, no one cares. If you are blessed by the divine God, if you are supposed to shine, whoever goes against you should be worried. When everyone turned up on him, they thought that was it. They thought, that's going to make him be a failure, or that's going to take him out of the industry. Guess what? Tables turned. The real bad people in the industry got revealed. The real snitches got revealed. Look at what happened in the past few days. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, rejection feels very bad. It makes you question if you took the right decision or not. It really does. It really makes you feel like, did I do the right thing? Was that is it worth losing them for the truth? And sometimes rejection might be saving you from a huge trouble. That rejection that they all rejected him, that rejection that he faced in the past has saved him decades of being dragged into a crime. Because now look, they're all snitching on each other. He took himself out of the equation. Everyone spoke bad on him. And I know in life we all face that. We all face rejection. We all become odd in a certain time in our life with some friends, with family members. Sometimes that elevation that you have to face requires you to go downhill before you climb up the mountain. You can't just climb a mountain if you don't walk on a valley. You have to come from beneath the mountain to rise on top of the mountain. And that low point, which could be a rejection point, which could be a disappointment, which could be a letdown, which could be a very great trouble happening in your life, can make you question if you ever get to the top of the mountain. It will make you question if you ever rise again. And I'm sure he faced that. I'm sure at some point he faced, what the hell? Am I even ever going to be liked? Is my music ever going to be played? Am I ever going to be loved like I used to? Will I even get? I'm sure he went through that. If you are blessed and divinely guided, nothing. The more people plan against you, the higher you rise. It will be like their hatred and their smear campaigns and their smashing your name or smearing your name in the streets would be a blessing to you. It's going to fuel the blessing God has for you. For now, it's going to seem like that is the end of your life. I've seen it happen where a friend of mine used to work in a company and she was a supervisor. And she kept being reported on every time. Now, the one doing the reporting also had some dirty stuff she was hiding. It later came out that she was reporting this friend of mine who was a supervisor and wasn't yet the manager in order for people not to, have their attention on what she's doing in her own space. She was snitching on her to cover her own tracks. And once she was discovered, the report she was giving on my friend was discarded. They were like, oh, you are reporting that your supervisor is doing this and that. You are doing worse and you're supposed to be the manager. So you know what? Step down and let the supervisor become the manager. My friend's smear campaign at her workplace became a blessing. But when she was going through that smear campaign, she was always complaining to me, I don't know why my manager is doing this. She keeps doing that. She keeps telling people this. Whenever I do the right thing, she keeps telling on me. She keeps turning upside down. She keeps lying on me. And I was like, friend, relax, and do your job with due diligence, okay? God will reward you in private or in public. I don't know how. But in that moment, my friend wanted to give up on the job. She loved that job. That was her dream job. She did everything to get into that job. And now she met the wrong boss. She was always frustrated, always complaining to me, what should I do? I don't know what to do. I've been praying and fasting. I'm like, keep steady, have faith. You just prayed and fasted last week. Anything can happen. She almost lost faith, and then just one day took a minute or two for her own bad records to be discovered. And she was asked to step down that very day. And the next day, she couldn't be the manager. And my friend proceeded to be the manager. Just like that. So sometimes you being rejected, we should take Ghana's own life story and my friend's work story as an example. If you're going through any moment of rejection, that is not the time to come out and over-explain yourself. Come out and prove to people who rejected you that, oh, I'm worth it. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't even have to talk. In fact, move on. It's going to hurt. It's going to be the most devastating time in your life because that wasn't part of your plan. You thought you were going to last in that situation. You thought you were going to last in that job. You thought you were going to last in that friendship. But that is not God's plan for you. That is not the universe plan for you. That is not what's in your destiny sometimes. That is not where you're supposed to be. You are needed somewhere else. You're supposed to elevate and they're going to drop. The funny thing is sometimes the people who reject you might one day come to your mercy to ask you for help. God can flip the table like that. This world is very peculiar, like my dad would say. It's a very peculiar world. Anything can happen. The one being rejected can one day be on top and can decide if they should reject you or not. Look at the story of Saul and David. Saul was looking to take David out. But when he fell in David's trap, David was like, you know what, I'm gonna let you go because God said, touch not my anointed. I feel like Ghana's story was a very good example of rejection is a blessing in disguise. Because not a lot of people get rejected and the people doing the rejection fall right on their face. Because that industry is a dirty game. Everyone snitches. Those who don't snitch, they rot in jail. They always rot in jail. Those who don't snitch in the industry rot in jail. Yes, their family is going to be taken care of, but they're going to rot in jail. And ask yourself, is that worth it? Sometimes that's not God's plan for you, but some people will keep quiet and rot in jail because they're trying to keep the loyalty in the industry. It's not worth it. Why would you be loyal to people who don't even like you? Who would watch you rot in jail and do nothing about it? And are the ones who are saying he snitched are the biggest snitches in the industry. See how they snitch on everyone around them. Now all their calls, the jail call, are on display. They're on the internet. Now we know who the real snitches are. So you see how the table flipped on Ghana. Now people would consider his mistake as something small. Like, oh, Ghana was a good person. Now look, it's going to flip everything. Now everything's going to flip. You telling people not to work with Ghana because he's a snitch, and people find out that you are the biggest snitch, is going to make Ghana look like a good person. You smearing him, having a smear campaign about him, talking about, oh, he's a bad person, look at what he did, look at what he said. That guy saved his life. What is wrong with that? If you were doing the right thing, would it look like snitching? That's one that I'm asking myself. If you were doing a charitable work for the community and he was caught by the police at that time, and he had said, oh, that is my friend's company or industry, and he's using it to build stuffs, do good for the community, would that be a snitch or would that be a praise? It depends on who is saying it and what you are doing as well. If you were doing the right thing, that wouldn't be a snitch. That would be a praise, an honor to your name. So if you don't want to be snitched on, then do the right thing. It's so simple. You don't want to be snitched on, then do the right thing. Snitching is only when you're doing the wrong thing and someone tells the truth on you. That is the only time you consider it snitching. If you're doing the right thing and I tell people on you, it's a praise. It's an accolade. People are going to see you in a better light. It's only when you know your caskets hiding in the cupboard are open, that is when you are shivering and calling, oh, you snitch, you snitch. What are they supposed to do? Everyone should be selfish in situations that don't even concern them. Why should he take the fall for you when you wouldn't take the fall for him? When you cut him off just because he's trying to save his life and you are doing the wrong thing. Every time you face rejection, just know an elevation is right in the corner. Because God knows what you deserve. Okay? The universe is aware of what you deserve. Sometimes you've outgrown where you are. Your soul is bigger than where you are. So you need to get out of there. And you will never get out of there until you're rejected. Some of us, we love so hard and we need a reason to leave. So God is going to turn the hearts of those people against you so that you feel rejected, or they're going to point blank reject you. And that's the only way you can move on, because it's like they shut the door in your face and you have no choice but to turn back and move on. That is the only way some of you are going to be elevated, by uprooting you from that place. Just like that. Uproot you like the way you uproot a plant from the soil. If not, you're not going to wither and leave. So yes, it's going to feel like rejection. It's going to feel like rejection from the people you love and the people you would take a bullet for. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't. And that's the revelation of things. Sometimes the people you think are going to be there for you, take a bullet for you, lie for you, ride for you, are not going to do it. In the moment when they're in your face and smiling with you, it will feel like that. It will feel like it's going to last forever. It's going to feel like this connection is for a lifetime, until something very serious happens. Until a situation between life and death happens. Then you're going to know how people really feel about you, until you make a certain prayer or you say a certain prayer, and God is going to reveal things to you. You never know the heart of man and the brain of man until you're faced with a needy situation. Then you're going to know who your real friends are, why they are not supposed to be there in your life, why they're not supposed to go with you in the next chapter, why your glow up and your level up is supposed to be a solo trip for you. You are going to understand later. But for now, the rejection is going to feel like a letdown. It's going to feel like a low point, a low point. But wait till you get to the top of the mountain, because whenever you're climbing the mountain from beneath, it's very painful. It will feel like, why am I even doing this? Let me get back down. Let me go back to the comfortable situation I was in. this doesn't feel comfortable. But if you keep going, if you keep moving on, if you keep healing, it will get better. You get to the top. You're going to see from the top all the way down, from the journey you've walked, and be like, wow, I needed to leave that spot. If I had stayed in that spot, I would have been out of this world, or I would have fallen into a very big criminal situation. Like, you will thank God you're no more with these people. You thank God you're no more in their circle, because maybe they're about to fall into trouble, or they're about to go into something very drastic, and God had to take you out of there because that is not your place. When things are not in their right place, they're supposed to be taken out. You need to trust the process. You need to surrender and trust the universe to take you to the right place, because the rejection is part of putting you in your right path. One thing rejection will do is bring clarity to you. It's going to make you become very clear mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's going to give you that snap that, hey, now things are clear now. I know these people don't like me no more. I know these people don't value me no more. I know I'm not cherishing anymore. What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? Rejection will bring that clarity to you, and rejection will reveal to you what someone really means to in your life. Once you're rejected, you're going to know, okay, that is not a real friend. You take the lesson with you, and you're able to make better friends in the future. You're going to make better decisions in the future. You're going to learn how to walk alone. You're going to learn how to go far, because you're doing this alone. Even if it's slow, the fact that you're doing it alone is building strength, mental strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength in you. It's building something you can't see right now, because it's very spiritual. You can't see it. It's not like a physical muscle. It builds gradually. The moments where you're stressed, the moments where you're sad, those moments where it feels like down moments, that is when the strength is building. Because just like when you're building muscles, things have to tear up in order for it to repair and regrow into something bigger. That's how it is. That's how it is. You're breaking down. You have to cry because you're losing the old you. You're losing that version of you. It's dead. You left it there. This version of you is going to mourn the old version, because it's never coming back. It's never coming back. And what do we do when we lose things or we lose people? We get sad. We cry. It's a loss. It's painful. But at the end of the day, years later, months later, you're going to be thankful. You're going to look back and be thankful you are no more in that situation, because what would have happened to them would have happened to you. Maybe worse. You realize the blessing in that rejection. It was disguised as a rejection. That blessing was disguised as a rejection. Because if it's not disguised as a rejection, God tells you beforehand that, hey, I'm going to reject you because these friends are going to do this and that. You're not going to see the blessing in it. You're not going to see the blessing. You're not going to know the strength you carry, because you're already told before. So you are preparing for it. But when you're not prepared for it and it hits you, you start developing that tools. You kind of like get shaken, and you start developing spiritual tools, mental tools, which is going to help you in the future when something else happens again. Rejection is one of the most painful things, but with what happened to Ghana, we can all take it in a good and positive way, even though it's the rap industry and most of us are not involved in it. But looking at the bright side, it's a blessing in disguise. Now the real snitches are out. The real snakes are out. The real fake people are out. Now we can see them clearly. He didn't have to tell us. Time revealed it. Time, the universe, God did what he had to do naturally. And that is how you should treat people who reject you. Don't say a word. Don't explain. Build in private. Don't contemplate. Don't come online and yell and scream and curse at people. No, it's not necessary. Don't do God's job for him. Don't do the universe's job for it. Let it be. Let it rest. Yes, cry in private. Shed tears in private. Be frustrated and stressed in private. Lose sleeps for some time. But make sure you heal. Make sure you take all the necessary steps to heal, because time will tell. Time always does tell. That is what you need to know. Move on. Keep quiet. Heal. Focus on yourself. Keep on doing you, because you get to the top of the mountain, and from there we are all going to see why it had to be this way. You understand the whole plan now. Okay? So if you're going to, I don't know who this message is for, but if you're going to any form of rejection, just like what Ghana faced, take it as a cautionary tale that anything can happen, especially when you're in the innocent how do I say, when you're in the innocent category, when you did things to save your life and maybe they're alive but they don't understand. Let them say whatever they want to say about you. Let them talk. Let them smell your name. Don't reply. Don't say anything. Maybe say a word of prayer, but that's it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this video, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check my other videos out, and I love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.